So 2025 is a year where we should see acceleration of prices, acceleration of activity, new applications, new things happening. And that's what drives the number so much further than other markets. So it's always an exciting time when it happens. But we've got all of the noise around tariffs and all of the things. And it was like, oh my God, we're all going to die. The economy's going to crash. It's all over. It's never going to happen. No alt-Cs, never again. None of this. And my thesis is just follow the liquidity which leads all of this. It's already pointing that the number will go up. Just be patient. So my view is it goes from a $3 trillion asset class today to $100 trillion in 10 years' time.
오늘은 리얼비전의 CEO 라울 팔이 예측하는 암호화폐 시장 전망을 들어보겠습니다. 라울 팔은 경험이 풍부한 투자자의 날카로운 시선과 함께 비트코인과 거대한 암호화폐 시장을 항상 주시하고 있는 인물이죠. 경제의 불확실성이 커지는 상황 속에서도 항상 코인의 중요성을 인식하고 있으며 경제 지표뿐 아니라 암호화폐 가격의 상승에 대해 이야기하곤 합니다. 라울 팔은 2025년 암호화폐 시장의 거대한 상승 사이클, 이른바 바나나 존에 진입했다고 설명합니다.
Now, something that's been fantastic about your content is in the last 9 months, you started to hint about a yellow-shaped fruit that was coming out, the banana zone. Exactly, the banana zone. For those that are unfamiliar, can you just explain what the banana zone is?
So the banana zone is generally the last year to year and a half of crypto markets when prices start to go vertical. And I said back in about September that we were going to start the banana zone with that huge run up at the end of the year. And then we had this consolidation that was actually driven by the tightening of liquidity that happened last quarter, back in Q4 2024. That happens every cycle. So you get this first ramp up, then we all say, well, we can't have nice things. The market corrects. It's like, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And then liquidity has to come to roll the debt. And that usually goes all the way through to the end of the year. And that becomes the banana zone. The banana zone is also when alt season happens. So when generally you can throw a dart at any crypto price and it'll go up. And it makes us all feel like geniuses.
Yeah.
That's the banana zone. The banana zone was everything gets really silly. Most things go up. That's not to say everything goes up. But the banana zone is when we make most of the big gains. It's when all retail gets sucked in. It's when the taxi driver starts talking to you. It's when, your parents call you up saying, should I buy this Bitcoin thing? Or even worse, it'll be, should I buy Fartcoin? That's your mother. You're like, oh my God, we're truly in the banana zone. That's where we're headed.
So you mentioned the market cycles that we do see in crypto. And I'm curious to ask them when it comes to the adoption cycle, is that in a similar parallel? Or are we on a different stage of the tipping point for crypto adoption?
So crypto adoption, really, because it's a token incentive model, it's behavioral incentives. So as number go up, it drags in more people. Builders build more stuff. There's more money around. There's more applications. This cycle, we've actually seen we've seen a lot of retail activity, but not the crazy part yet. But what we're seeing, and here we are in the Middle East, is we're seeing sovereign wealth funds and state actors buying crypto. They've just started, but that's a huge shift. Before there was maybe one or two quietly doing it.
Yeah.
Now it's open. So even here, they've been buying the ETF and stuff like that. So there's a lot of new entrants coming. We haven't even heard what the US crypto policy is on their strategic crypto reserve. So we're seeing new people adopting it for different things. So Bitcoin is being adopted as that reserve asset. And then usually what happens is it flows out of the risk curve into other parts of Web3. And that's when the applications get built. And we've seen that with Solana, probably seen it with Sui. We've obviously seen it with Ethereum in the past, where suddenly mass applications start getting built.
And it's right to say that we had Pakistan Crypto Council here on the stage earlier today. And I think many years ago in crypto, you'd have been seen as insane to look at the outlook that we were seeing in 2025. But it's seem for governments to be unfathomable that they're not talking about crypto.
So I'm talking to 12 different governments about not just buying Bitcoin, but about how can you integrate blockchain technology within entire economies. And I'm seeing it everywhere. Large asset management firms, endowment funds, sovereign wealth funds, all of these guys saying, okay, we know we have to do something now.
Yeah.
And they're trying to figure out, how do we buy it? What do we do? As with some another one of the exchanges yesterday, same thing. All they're seeing is all the big players coming in. Everyone's quite shocked by it all. The ETF providers seeing the same thing. If you speak to, whether it's Bitwise or all of these guys, they're all like, I can't believe who's now coming in for inquiries about how to do this.
Yeah.
Because the US has greenlit it now, which was the big thing. And then you've got the US saying we'll build a reserve, and here in the UAE building reserves, and a few other countries building reserves, and everyone knows, well, the game of nations is we can't be left behind.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to pay the highest price.
And I think the beautiful thing about crypto is retail really has a chance to front run the institutions and the government.
Well, this is why I'm passionate about it, is it's been so hard for young people to be able to buy a house, to have kids, put them through school, all of the things that the big life hurdles, it's almost impossible. Because of the debasement of currency has meant that the value of scarce assets has gone up so much. And my argument has been from, 2015, which was like, this is the big one. This is your chance to make wealth. And not only can you make a bit of wealth, it's the fastest appreciating asset class in all of human history. So you can catch up really fast. So you just have to get involved and start that journey, but it will level the playing field for millions of people. So my view is it goes from a $3 trillion asset class today to 100 trillion in 10 years' time. So we're only 3% of the way there. People are going to make a lot of money, but it's not a few people. It's not like the tech barons or the bankers. This is like, well, Binance has 260 million customers. Now, you could lift 260 million people change their lives. Okay, that's a big deal. There's 500 million crypto accounts around the world, so you can change 500 million lives. And if you speak to CZ or you speak to the others, they'll say, we want to have 1 billion people, 2 billion people. Well, if you can change 2 billion people's lives, that's a quarter of the world. So it's a very, very big deal. And also it's a big deal because people are getting access to dollars.
Do you think we'll see more competitive natures from other fiat-backed stablecoins, or do you think dollar dominance will remain across the stablecoin market?
Go anywhere and ask them, what would you rather have, a euro, or a dollar, or a Swiss franc? They will always say a dollar.
Yeah.
And so the dollar dominance just increases. Now, the other thing, if you think about the wealth of nations, for the US, they're finding new buyers for debt. The US has so much debt, and there's not really enough buyers, have to keep printing money. And now they can sell US treasuries essentially to somebody working in the rice fields of the Philippines. It's insane.
What would you say to everyone, like 3 main takeaway tips just to make sure you fully optimize this market cycle, you capitalize, and you don't mess it up, you don't...
Yeah, so really you want to hold mainly projects in the top 10 that are seeing network adoption, and don't go too far out the risk curve. That's rule number 1. Then really you can close your eyes and not worry about the volatility as much because your token is unlikely to go to zero. Okay, so that's one thing. The next thing is you will lose your mind when the market starts going up and you think, I want to make even more money. What? It's only a 3x or 10x from here. I want to make more money. And you just take leverage. And leverage is a way of parting with your tokens. Because if the market corrects, you give your tokens to the exchange, you're out of your tokens, you're out of the game. Don't get out of the game.
Yeah.
So choose quality assets, don't get out of the game. Then it's all about security. Don't lose your tokens is rule number 1. Just stay in the game. Ask anybody, all the people who are rich in this space, you ask them what they did. They weren't trading, they just held and did nothing.
Yeah.
It's really hard for people because they think they need to do something. I need to be trading, I need to be like Ansem, I need to be flipping tokens and getting the next 100. You don't need to do any of that. You just need to let the magic happen. And let the magic happen is don't lose control of your tokens.
라울팔은 유동성 흐름을 따르는 것이 가장 중요하다고 강조하며 현재는 개인 투자자들이 기관과 정부보다 먼저 기회를 잡을 수 있는 역사적 시기라고 말합니다. 비트코인을 중심으로 시작된 유입은 알트코인과 웹3 전반으로 퍼지며 수많은 사람들의 인생을 바꿀 수 있는 초대형 기회가 펼쳐지고 있다고 분석합니다. 우리는 객관적인 시각으로 투자를 해야 하고 지금 당장만 보고 투자할 게 아니라 미래를 보고 투자를 해야겠죠. 010-2472-0429 전화번호로 탈겜이 적어서 문자 보내주시면 2025년 비트코인과 코인 시장에 대한 분석, 정보들 공유해드리겠습니다. 현재 우리에게 중요한 것은 이러한 정보를 어떻게 활용할 것인가입니다. 지금까지 영상 시청해주셔서 감사하고요. 다음에 더 좋은 영상으로 찾아뵙겠습니다. 감사합니다.